We back at it again. The dish coming from the scene. The usual suspects is back. Hey man, it's getting about that time, man. It's almost October. I got the usual suspects, man. Cat Five, Jorge, aka F Baseball, aka Guru, and Ty through coming through, man. Cat Five, man. Let the people know what's going on, man.
I mean, did the Reds get eliminated? Yeah. Am I upset about it? Yeah. Am I Jorge about it? No.
That's why there's only one Jorge on this show, right?
Yeah. Guru,
That's
talk to him,
it.
man.
That's my whole intro.
Guru, talk to him, man. Talk to
Oh
him. What's going on,
man.
man?
Same thing as Storms, but just about the Mets. You see my name.
Nah.
It is what it is. Travis getting his laugh in, but like I told him, he's only getting an extra series. That's all he's doing. But nah, man, just like you said, October's almost here. Let's talk about these last few games to see who makes it to the playoffs. Let's talk about these teams.
Ty, what's going on, man?
Man, I'm just trying to make sure that Trav isn't the only one celebrating a division, win. Come on, Dodgers, help us out. Like he can't be the only one. After this long of a season, all these games, Trav is the only man standing with a divisional crown. Get that out of here.
I tried to tell y'all, man. I tried to tell y'all from the beginning. Gotta have faith, man. Speaking of faith, man, we got a lot of tight races, both divisions. The main one we're gonna start on right now because I know we're gonna spend a good little bit of time on it. That's this NL race, man. Cat Five, talk to us about this NL race, man. This
Which
wild
one?
card.
The wild card?
We can start on the hottest team.
So
we can go it's wherever you want to do.
That's the story of the wild card. There isn't really a whole lot more to talk about when a team runs off 17 in a row. That's all there is to talk about because that's it. That's a wrap for everybody. That is the longest winning streak in the National League since the Cubs in 35. With I think 21 in a row. Shout out to Ty, man. Your X Factor's coming through. Tyler O'Neill, 11 or 12 home runs in September. And I mean, he's crushing the whole league in like 4 or 5 of the major categories. So how do you think I feel talking about this right now?
All right, there. Let me pass it over to you. Let me just hold it there while you talk. Keep going.
But also big shout out to Wayno, Lester, and J.A. Happ being the senior citizens that they are and propelling this team, along with O'Neill to what was it? It was 2% chance I think they had to make the playoffs on September 2nd.
Yep. Actually, less than that, I think. But yeah, that's right about that percentage.
I forgot to. I was gonna look up what the betting odds were on that day out of curiosity, but
I was like 2.5, 2.6. It was very slim.
Like I would like to have put $1 down on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like so. Anyway, just unbelievable run. I can't even be upset, even though my Reds kind of crapped the bed. It wouldn't have mattered in the end anyway. So,
Ty, speaking of your X Factor, the floor is yours.
Well, shout out to my favorite historian. I wish we could have had him on the show. Historian Ham, man, you would have loved this show for your Cardinals. The key to them, winning, when you look at what they've done with this historic streak, in addition to, my X Factor and, their lineup and their bats, it's their defense. You can be a starting pitcher and you can throw strikes, and your defense will cover you. They have Gold Glovers everywhere. I mean, you look at third base with Arenado. You look at Goldie. He's had some Gold Gloves. You got Yadier. Uh, I mean, they have Gold Glovers pretty much in every aspect of the field. That's deadly. So, um, if you're a pitcher, you feel confident stepping onto that mound that you're going to have a good night because you know that defense has your back. And then it wasn't the starting pitching, I would say, that stood out the most for the Cardinals during the streak. I would say the bullpen. Like there's been a lot of scoreless innings thrown by Cabrera and Whitley um, through the stretch, and the bullpen has been pretty dominant and solid. So once again, if you're a starting pitcher in St. Louis, you feel pretty good knowing that you have a good defense behind you and also a bullpen that's gonna cover you. So if the Cardinals continue this brilliance and make it into a postseason run, I'm not saying they will, but they can make it interesting. And there's only one team, depending on how the wild card race is placed, that could determine whether they succeed, and that's if they beat themselves, whether that's the Giants or the Dodgers. So that's the only way the Cardinals will succeed, is if one of those teams beats themselves. All right, what you got to say, man? What do you think, Gru, if you still watching baseball after all of this?
That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. No, I mean, listen. We said this at the beginning of the year, and it came to fruition. The Cardinals is a team that you don't want to stick around, and unfortunately, all the other NL wildcard teams let them stick around, and now they're 17 in a row, going for 18 today if they beat Milwaukee. They have a good team. You know the main factor that I got: Arenado, Goldie at first base, and Molina when we did the wild card X factors. And I mean, that trio, that three-headed monster, they get it. I mean, like we said, we talked about it before. They've been there, they've done that. Especially Molina. He knows how to go with the rotation, with the bullpen. He knows how to handle them. He knows how to talk to them. I mean, look at what they're doing. 17 in a row. That's to close out a year. That's insane.
Yeah.
And you only have what, 5 games left now? After today is 5 games.
I think after today is 4 for the Cardinals.
Okay, 4
5,
games.
4.
Sorry.
It's 5 for some, 4 for others.
Yeah. And I mean, they're going into a wild card game where it's kind of like pick your poison. Are you playing the Dodgers? Are you playing San Francisco? But they're the Cardinals. They have that team to where they have a shot, and that's all you really need. When you get into the playoffs, all you need is to get in, and anything can happen, right? Trav, I'm not saying that about the Braves. Get that out your mind. I already saw the look. So, that's all you need. You need a puncher's chance, and they got it.
At the right time, too.
I want to say, Ty, you're right. It has been more their bullpen than the rotation in this run. I just love those trades for Lester and J.A. Happ so much. These are guys that were basically outcasts before they traded for them, and the whole difference, their stuff didn't magically get better overnight. But what's happening is, like you said, they just have this elite defense behind them, and these are guys that they're gonna get contact, but they're gonna keep the ball in front of you. And as long as your guys can make plays, and that's why they've been such big pickups for them, because they've been able to keep the game under control long enough for their offense to give them enough run support. So, yeah, can we move on? I'm sick of praising the Cardinals. I'm sick of praising the Cardinals.
You gotta get the hard stuff out the way. You gotta get
take it hard.
Yeah. Oh, pause. Pause. What? What a day, man! What a day! What a day!
And we said this too. The NL Central always has multiple teams in the playoffs, if not 2, 3 teams.
Right.
And honestly, if it wasn't for the Giants having the year that they're having, Cincinnati would have probably won the wild card. Would have been the third wild card. But who would have thought San Francisco would have had the year they're having? 103 wins. That's insane.
Yeah, they're supposed to be at 65 right now.
Yeah, if that.
That's something I don't want to think about is like our season predictions. I don't want to go back to that episode months ago.
No, you know what? Some of them are looking good now. Like I don't remember who y'all picked to win the East. Well, I remember who Jorge picked to win the East, but I picked the Braves.
I did, but did we pick the Brewers? Did we pick the Brewers?
No. I had the Brewers in 4th.
Yeah,
I think I picked Cincinnati, and then I think I picked St. Louis to get in.
I had for the Central, I had Cardinals, Reds, Cubs, Brewers, and that we can move on from.
Next, how about we stay right there in the Central and we talk about Milwaukee, them taking that division, man. Listen
about that. Look at my background.
We're gonna get to that in a second. Storms, you and I think Ty also nailed this, that they're that team to where if they get in, they're gonna be trouble. And not only trouble, but they're gonna make some noise because of that bullpen, because of that starting rotation. And guess who's waking up? Yelich.
Yep.
Yelich is waking up. And if he wakes up, we already know the kind of tear he could be on. He's an MVP type player, a 5-2 player. To have him in the middle of the lineup and waking up right before the playoffs, that's huge for them. He can carry this team, but this year he doesn't really have to. Ty, what? Oh, go ahead, Stones. My bad.
Oh, I was just gonna say no, but if he comes back to if he's even 40%, if he's half of what he was as an MVP, the trophy's going to Milwaukee. This is for my money, this is the best team in the National League, probably in baseball, as of right now.
Ooh. Hot take.
Man, I like it.
We'll see how hot it is in a few weeks.
Man, Storms has been saying some stuff though. He told y'all about Boston.
I hope Yelich goes back to sleep. I don't need him to wake up.
Same here.
Yelich,
Same
if
here.
you're watching, wake all the way up.
No, you know what, man? I would happily be wrong about Milwaukee. just like I wish I was wrong about everything I just said about the Cardinals.
Go ahead, Ty. Talk about the man behind you, man.
Man, so I'm off of celebrating, right? You know, it's good to win a divisional championship and you know, enjoy that moment with your team, especially considering the season. Nobody expected you to really do this. You find one person who said the Brewers are going to win the NL Central, and I'll say you can't. But here we are. I mean, and I gave them a shout out like somewhere along, like right before the All-Star game, saying it's a possibility. But when you have someone like Devin Williams, young, reckless, wild, free, enjoying himself so much that your drunk ass has to punch a wall right before the postseason. Now you're gonna miss the whole postseason because you broke your hand, probably a boxer's fracture. Now I've had one. It can take you out. Pull your punches, man. But anyway, Devin Williams, come down, have a seat, because you were part of that spectacular bullpen. You have to remember this was last year's reliever of the year. So this is a huge, huge blow. And if you're a teammate and you're in that club, that ball club, you're looking at Devin Williams, you're like, man, you mother.
You're saying, come on, man.
I know how much a boxer's fracture can hurt a team. When I was still playing soccer, I got one and I couldn't play keeper for like almost 2 months. I had to play defense out of position, and it cost us it real bad. It was tragic. We should have been undefeated. If only I could have stayed in the goal.
Yep,
So for you guys that haven't watched that much the last 2 weeks, to let you know how good Milwaukee has been and how in control of the division they have been. In the last 10 games, they're 4-6. The Cardinals have won 17 straight, and Milwaukee clinched the division. That's how in control Milwaukee has been of this division, basically the second half. So, yeah, just to let y'all know. That's how good of a team that they are. And I'm looking forward to them facing, I think that's going to be a hell of a series, them in Atlanta. That's going to be a hell of a series. I'm looking forward to that series.
Oh yeah, that series is going to be a lot of 3-1s, 4-3. Hey, Trav, how's your blood pressure, man? Because it's going to go up during that series, man.
Dude, hey man, it's been up this whole run ever since they got the countdown. Like how many games we got left to clinch the division. It's been on there. Right now, they looking good. Look like they taking care of business in the bottom of the 7-5-2 against the Phillies. So we need one more after this, and I can relax a little bit until we see this Brew Crew that's coming up. So
for y'all don't know, we always watch on Zoom. We always watch baseball, and Trav is a huge basketball fan. But basketball Trav and baseball Trav is completely different. Baseball brings everything out in Trav. And Trav,
you know what, man? Like he didn't come to the weekend trip. Like I still think there's 2 of them.
So this year, if we do it, Trav, with your permission, man, I want to record and do some snippets so people can see how you act when you watch with baseball.
Oh man,
it's completely different.
If we do, you can do it. If not, we can record some stuff and we'll have some cuts and stuff. So, I mean, I want to ask y'all a question before we go to the next subject.
Real quick, little update.
Go ahead.
The Blue Jays are leading the Yankees 6-5 going into the top of the ninth. So the Yankees have 3 outs left.
Interesting. So the question that I have, we got 4 some teams games left. In the NL West, the Dodgers are down 2 against the Giants right now. Do the Giants hold on, or do the Dodgers walk it down? Ty, talk to me.
Well, I will defer and ask a question to 2 players of the San Diego Padres. It all depends. Can Tatis and Machado get along? Are y'all going to kill each other? San Diego, you stay classy. You do the right thing, and you win those games for me. So
wait, you want him to catch on now or in a few days?
I mean, well, take the L to my Dodgers right now. I mean, but when you got the Giants in a couple days, actually, I think, is it tomorrow or it starts tomorrow, right? Or is it Friday?
Yeah, today and tomorrow is them and the Dodgers, and then after that with the Giants.
Okay, yeah. So, San Diego, stay classy. Help out. We got South Side. We got to stick together. So it's not a NorCal thing. It's all about Southern California. So show some Southern hospitality, and shout out to Ludacris there, and represent for the South Side. So take care of business, end your season on a high note with some victories, and then in the off season y'all can go to war, do whatever y'all gonna do, and figure it out for the next run.
Boy,
that's all I ask.
Guru,
I'm not proud of saying this. I'm not happy about saying this. Trav, you're gonna have the only division winner on the show. I think the Giants, take it. They're playing the D-backs, man. You know, I mean, come on. And San Francisco's too good. 2 games with what, 5 to play, including today. I think it's over.
Cat 5?
That's the same thing I said before the show, man. They're both playing one of their last 2 series against the Padres, who probably won't take a game from either of them. So give me the team that's playing the D-backs instead of the team that's playing the Brewers. I've been saying the Dodgers for the last, month and a half, but I just, at this point, I don't see it for that reason.
I got a question for y'all. And my question is, if the Giants clinch, do you rest your older players, Crawford, Posey? You know, do you rest those players? What would you do if you were the manager?
Against the Padres?
If you clinch already.
I mean, yeah. I mean, why would you not do everything you can do to get an advantage heading into the playoffs? You know, you're either going to be playing a team that's on the longest win streak in 90 years, 90 plus years, 80 plus years, whatever it is, or you're going to be playing the team that's been neck and neck with you all year long over the 162 games for the division. I want to be at 100%, whatever that means. You know,
so,
I mean, whatever I got to do in between now and then to be that.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you think, Ty? So keep this in mind, Storms. Let's say they clinch Friday, because they can clinch Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Their first game isn't until the 7th, which is next week, Thursday. So you would rest them a week? Or would you just rest them after Sunday, which would be 3 days? I wouldn't
necessarily like give them Sunday's the last day of the season?
Yeah.
Or Monday?
Sunday.
If they clinch Friday, give them Saturday off, play them half a game Sunday. Make sure, obviously make sure that they, your pitchers are throwing a bullpen or two in between now and then and everything. Guys are keeping themselves ready, but yeah, especially for the older guys, get the rest.
What do you say, Zach?
As a manager, I would say take the rest. Nothing like, starting a series, fresh energy, fresh legs, fresh arms, all that stuff. But also, I mean, as a manager, you also want to take into account, what does the team feel like? What is it as the team? You're going to defer to your captain and trust, your leaders of your ball club to say, hey, fellas, what do you guys want to do? What do you guys think? In this instance, because you may have some guys who may want, to stay in rhythm, stay loose, who are maybe on a tear and they don't want to lose that. And you have to really know the personalities in your club to understand what is advantageous, as a manager from top to bottom, the whole roster, not just for your key guys, but for everybody. So if I would say it's trending towards that, you have a team that they can be responsible and stay, relatively, loose and then focus, take that rest. But if you have someone who can, lose a step and, come back rusty, keep them, focused. So it all depends on, what you want to do with your club and the guys in your club.
Do you think there's another team whose clubhouse you would trust more to make that decision for themselves?
As far as the team
that's
goes?
tough because this is a veteran team. I would only do it with a veteran team. If it was the Padres, hell no.
No,
I'm telling you what.
No. I mean, you're for me, it's probably Giants, Astros, Cardinals. Cardinals, I mean, they got 5 or 6 games to figure that out. They can rest off and on, whatever.
I think that would be
maybe it.
Yeah, I think
that's
that's it. Yeah, that's what I was getting to. Ty, you know, he's the manager. Gabe Kapler's been doing an amazing job, and I think he knows this team top to bottom, and you can tell the way he uses his team and players as well in the position he puts them in, that he knows what they're good at and what their weak suit is. So I think I think he's gonna go with what the team says. You know what I mean? I think he's gonna go to the players and see how they feel. And I think also with an older player, you may want to keep him in the lineup just because you don't want him to take a week off. Because that's a long time. In between, let's say, last game of the season and the first game of the playoffs, and then just to tell him to turn the switch back on, that's kind of hard, especially for an older player. So I mean, I would ask them, especially being a veteran team, like you said, Ty. So let's say that LA goes to the wild card and faces St. Louis. What do you got to say about that, Ty?
Don't blow it. That's what I'm afraid of, is that against it. So if you go against it, I don't want to go against St. Louis, and because of that defense, you can throw strikes, and if the defense will bail you out, you got a team that's going to be frustrated, leaving runners on base, and then next later into the game, as pressure mounts up, they're trying to swing for the fences and looking awful doing it, which I have seen the Dodgers do multiple times this year. So I don't want to face the Cardinals. I don't, unless it's going to be a barn burner and we come out in the first couple of innings with 5 runs. So with that, it all depends on what the Padres are going to do to us and what the Padres are going to do to the Giants. So once again, stay classy, San Diego.
What do you think? Well, actually, you know what? I got a follow-up question for y'all, and you too, Trav.
Gotcha.
This is a good question, and I was thinking of this if they do the wild card. Who would you start game 1, Buehler or Scherzer? And then would you think about using Buehler and Scherzer in that wild card game, 1 through 3, and then let's say 4 through 7 or 8
God,
innings?
I think I know what Trav's going to say, though. Oof.
Personally, I would throw out Scherzer first, because Scherzer's an animal. He's a dog. And depending on what he's looking like 3rd and 4th inning, that's when I would either pull him or leave him in the game. That's me personally.
I was going to say Scherzer myself.
I see. Okay, let me ask you a question. How much do you think it matters that – so the Cardinals have, what is it, a week until this game, right?
So the wild card game is on 1 week from today.
So how much do you think this matters? The Cardinals have a week to watch a decade of film on Max Scherzer or a couple of years on Buehler for a 1-game scenario.
I don't think it matters.
Now that you throw that down there, I get where you're going with that. I get exactly where you're going with that. I mean, because if you start Buehler, young dog, you ain't got that much on him. He can dominate a game. He can dominate. But
right. My thing is just there isn't a wrong answer between the two of them.
Right.
And I mean, I don't feel like there is. And so if that's the case, why not go with the young guy? Plus, Buehler's got the postseason track record. He's going to go out there and give you a dominant 7 innings if that's what you ask of him. I just don't think there's a wrong answer. I'm cool either way, but I'll take Walker for that reason.
At 5, the only thing, I mean, like, if you can't have a wrong answer in that, but if you were to start Scherzer, I think you would show your team confidence that I know I'm gonna be going right back to San Francisco. I know I'm gonna go right back to San Francisco because I know Bueller got his bags packed and ready to get on that mound against San Francisco, our arch nemesis.
Now, I got a related question. Which would you prefer to face as a hitter? Bueller or Scherzer for 7 innings, or Wainwright for 4 and Flaherty for 3 out of the bullpen?
Hold on, we didn't let Ty answer that last question.
Oh, we didn't. My bad.
Go ahead, Ty.
I actually bring up a good point. Look to the past postseason. What did Walker actually do? He started first games for against the Brewers and the Padres, and then he actually did work against the Braves in very decisive games in LCS. Don't forget, Game 3 of against the Tampa Bay Rays. Who was the man? It was Walker. So Dave Roberts is going to go Walker. It's not going to be Max. I'll be surprised if it was Max. He's going to go Walker. So I would go Walker.
Just don't run a lefty out against that lineup.
That's my answer right there. Now, Storms, you brought up a good question. As from a hitting perspective, you'd rather take the 7. You rather take the 7.
And I'm guessing you're saying that for the same reason I would, because you're seeing the same hitter or the same pitcher second time through the lineup and part of the third.
Pitchers wear down. They start showing their pitches. Maybe you pick up on tendencies. You maybe see something from another at bat that you can catch up on. And when you have someone who's pitching, but this is why the Tampa Bay Rays are so successful, and certain teams are successful pitching by committee. It shifts things, it mixes things up, it keeps you on your toes. But when you pitch by committee, every pitcher knows everything about that lineup. So it's the advantage to the committee if they have actually done their homework like they should, and if they're prepared. If they're not, they'll get screwed, and then you have a lineup that's filling themselves, and it's a disaster, and they're gonna run away with that. Lady momentum in the postseason, as far as for playoff baseball, too easy to switch sides.
So going back to what you said about Bueller in the playoffs, did you already forget what Scherzer did in 2019, sir?
It's 2019.
Yeah, still, it's Scherzer in the playoffs. You forgot what he did against you guys? So in six games, he pitched 112 innings. He struck out 137. And he had, out of those 6 games, he had 3 wins, 3 no decisions. No fault of his. But all those games resulted in wins for the Nationals. So he has a track record too.
I mean, I know. I did not forget that. All I'm saying that, like I said, there isn't a wrong answer.
There isn't.
So I'll take Walker, simply because there's going to be less resources for the Cardinals to prepare against them.
All right, I take that. All right, now, quick recap on the NL East. Atlanta's about to win the division. Next, we go to AL West.
Hold up. I just wanted to throw something out there. I had said, I told Bryce Harper on this show, if you want to win the division, you need 90 RBI. He's sitting at 82, and they're going to miss by a couple of games. Anyway.
Nah, but hey, credit to him though, man. He almost single-handedly pushed Philadelphia into the playoffs, and he's had a hell of a second half.
He had help from Andrew McCutchen.
I'll say something I didn't think I would a couple of months ago. I will not be that upset if he wins MVP. I still don't think he should, because they're not making the playoffs. But this isn't it's kind of slim pickings this year. So
Yeah, I agree. And we said if he's gonna win the MVP, he had to basically carry them into the playoffs, and he's basically almost carrying them into the playoffs.
like
And
honestly, if everyone else was doing their job, he would have.
yeah, basically.
Tyler
So,
O'Neill for MVP.
and also, huh?
Tyler O'Neill for MVP. I'm just kidding. Though. Just kidding.
Also, big, shout out to also the Braves, man. The Braves lost Acuna halfway through the season. We told Trav Soler was going to be a good pickup. We told you that Duvall was going to be a big pickup, and they paid their dividends, man. The second half, look at what they've done. They picked up the slack. They still got the lineup, still got Albie, still got Freddie Freeman, and it's going to be a hell of a series against Milwaukee. I'm interested to see that series, seeing what the Braves do.
The MVP may stay in Atlanta.
NL East is what I'll say to that. Whack ass division. I've spoken.
Don't worry
Listen,
about it.
don't be speaking and get spanked in the wild card game, right?
I hope not, man. I just hope not, man. We just gotta play ball, man. But like I said,
if it happens, I'm seriously blocking Trav.
Yes, but don't be surprised if the MVP stays in Atlanta and not in the person's hands that y'all think it may be. Because it may go to that third baseman, not the first baseman. Austin Riley. I called this in the All-Star break. Did I not, Jorge?
Yeah.
So
You did call it.
Keep a lookout on it.
Let's go to the AL. Y'all want to start out east, or y'all want to go to the west? What y'all want to do?
It's on you.
I want somebody to walk Miggy already, man. He's been at $11.99 for like a week and a half.
We're gonna get it on the last day of the season. Watch.
I know.
So let's start in the east. How about we go to the division that still really has 4 teams in position to make a wild card spot. I mean, a wild card spot, a postseason spot. The Rays, the Tampa Bay Rays, doing what they always do, winning games. They're at 97 wins, won the division. Second place are the Yankees, 90 wins. They're 2 games up, I believe, on the division, on the wild card, excuse me. And Boston at 88 wins. They're second place in the wild card. And then we got Toronto, that's 4th place in the wild card, 1 game back of Boston.
The Yankees just lost, so they are no longer 2 games up.
So there you go. Live update on that. So that would make the Yankees up 1 game on Boston. And if Boston loses, Toronto is going to tie them for that lead, for that second spot in the wild card, depending on what Seattle does. If Seattle wins, Seattle will be half a game up. We will talk about Seattle in a second. But yes, look at that Trav's face. Seattle. That's right. Seattle. That has not been relevant since Griffey, Buhner,
Edgar Martinez has walked through that door somewhere.
It's been a minute. It has been a minute.
It has been a while. So just to let y'all know, Seattle tonight is playing Oakland. They just started. And Storm, say what Seattle...
Like Robinson Cano went there and his career died.
So let's talk about the East, man. Rays keep doing what they're doing, winning games. Yankees still up and kicking, 1 game up in the wild card, like we were saying. Boston still has that half game lead over Seattle, and then Toronto, which was my pick to make that first or second wild card spot along with Boston, is still alive too. I don't know, man. It's up in the air right now, and it's kind of hard to pick, especially with this series between Toronto and the Yankees, man. I don't know which way it's going to go, to be honest. I picked the Blue Jays, but they may pull it out, and the Yankees may be the odd team out because they play Toronto tomorrow, and they play the Rays to finish the year. The Rays don't have anything to play for, but I don't think the Rays are going to lay down for them. I don't think they're going to allow them to get in the playoffs. What do you guys think?
Let me start this off by saying Toronto got the best shot. If they handle business, what's that? They play the Yankees again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Believe so.
And then they got the Orioles on Friday.
And the Orioles for all 3 games. To be honest, they got, if you want to, this is the closest thing to control your own destiny at this point. You got to take care of business Thursday at 6:00. You got to take care of business. And you gotta beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. They are supposed to beat the Baltimore Orioles. All 3 games, landslide. They do what they're supposed to do. And like you said, Tampa is not gonna lay down. Tampa is not gonna lay down. So
tell you what, though,
Vic, you may be in trouble.
He know he is.
I tell you what,
and Vic, I'm sorry, category to cut you off, but Vic, you better hope they make the playoffs. If not, you know you're gonna hear my mouth. You know it. I'm saying it now.
He's gonna hear it anyway.
That's true.
No, I was just gonna say, man, Tampa needs to make sure that they don't underestimate or get into coast mode against whoever they play in the DS, because whoever it is going to have been playing playoff baseball for 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Really, really good point.
But I think my gut, of course, is telling me to pick against Boston, but they're wrapping it up with Baltimore and the Nats. So, God, I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So
now that you say that,
it's all up in the air. I kind of want to see Seattle and Toronto get the wild cards just for maximum chaos. But
so quick update on that. The Red Sox beat Orioles 6-0 today. So I'm trying to get an update here on the standings. It looks like
Yankees are 1.5 up, and then both
Boston
the Jays and Seattle
they're like
won.
half a games behind.
So they're both still half a game and 1 game back of Boston, because all 3 of them won.
Well, Seattle goes to a full game because Seattle hasn't played yet. If Seattle loses, they'll go to a game and a half back. If they win, they stay a half a game back.
Yeah,
so
that game with the A's is currently in progress. So.
But it's the A's, so it's Seattle against the A's. So count it.
What do you got to say, Ty? You think Toronto slides in? Who do you think takes the 2 spots in the wild card? Well, who do you think makes it out of the AL East? Because that's what we're focusing on.
I think Boston will hold court. I think they if they don't, like, they would seriously goof. And thankfully for Boston Red Sox, the Yankees have already goofed for you. They peaked too soon. New York, let me talk to you for a second. Love the city, love the state, actually, but they say it's a city that never sleeps. Well, good night. Okay. Get ready for training camp for your Knicks. They're the only team that's going to have any postseason appearance at all. That's no to the Mets, no to the Yankees, hell no to the Giants. So all you got is the Knicks right now. Man, sorry, New York, that's true.
Stick to baseball. And nobody talking about football. All right.
I'm talking to New York as a city. right now. Okay, they need to hear the truth. They need to hear this. Okay.
No, we don't. We
Yeah.
know what it is. Deep down inside, we know. We just have a little bit of hope, all right? We
No,
know.
I mean, yeah, like I said, y'all had, a moment and y'all peaked too soon. And now, it's
What
a
was it,
wrap.
14 straight,
14.
14
Yeah.
straight. Cause
You-
they
you-
broke our 10-game streak.
Yeah,
So-
if this was the Fast and the Furious, you hit that Nas button way too fast, and now Toretto, which is the Toronto Blue Jays, is blowing right past your ass.
Too soon, Junior.
Only live life 9 seconds at a time.
So we always have conversations in the chat where we talk to Vic and we tell him, because Vic is an avid, Vic on Views 22 is an avid Yankee fan. He's always talking about the Yankees, and we posted
Victor Views.
Yeah.
I
we
also
just-
talk to Dennis King too. He can get all this smoke too.
Oh, that's
Talk
true.
to
That's
Dennis.
true.
Talk
Dennis
to Dennis.
too. My bad.
You ain't
My
exempt,
man,
bruh.
oh
You
man,
ain't
Dennis.
exempt.
That's right. That's right. They unlike Eddie, that cheers for both Chicago teams. They only got one team in New York, so they avid Yankee fans. And when we posted the win streak, we told them it's not about the winning streak that we're worried about. Yes, they're gonna win some games. We want to see what they do after the win streak. Look at what they've done. They reverted back to the Yankees that they were in the beginning of the year. Yeah, they can put up runs. Yeah, their pitching is fine, but their lineup and the people in the middle of the lineup go missing sometimes. Carlos Stanton, he has been hot.
Man.
Judge has been hot. But when they're missing, there's like you don't have a third spot in the lineup. You don't have a fourth spot in the lineup. That's what we were worried about. And not to mention the man Gallo that they traded for, he strikes out a lot. He's not a man that should be in that lineup. Yeah, he's good in the outfield and good, has a wonderful arm, but in that lineup, it doesn't make much sense. And we're going to see if they can pull it out. I mean, there's still a game up. They still have 4 games left.
But it's balanced.
No,
No.
Yankees fans, I would say this, and the Yankees fans, y'all need to hear this. Tonight was your night to take care of business. You have Cole on the mound,
Mhm.
and what happened? So
Yep.
next,
And
by New York.
that's your ace. That's the person you signed to win this game. That's why you guys signed him. And Toronto took care of business. Now, if they
Paid him a
take
lot
care
of money.
business, if they take care of business tomorrow, you guys would be out of that wild card spot and probably say goodbye to your chances because the Rays are not going to lay down for you, and you guys do not beat the Rays.
You know
I
what?
I got it. The Yankees are still gonna make the playoffs. I gotta.
I'm glad you said continue.
Hey, I gotta stick to my guns. I've said it all year long. Boston is out. I thought about it. It's Baltimore and it's Washington, and I still don't trust them. They're 9 games behind the Rays right now. 10 games and out of the playoffs.
I'm glad you said that, because if they were to sneak in, best to believe there will be a live with only you on here.
I'll allow it.
Yes.
I would love to be in the comment section.
Everybody else will be on mute. I would give you 15 minutes of fame, even more, because looking at these schedules for the last 4 games, it don't look good for the Yankees, and it look excellent for Toronto and Boston.
Yep.
How
Hey,
about
it does. It does. I just it's they're gonna Red Sox it. When I say that,
That's a clip right there.
what I
Keep
mean is they're gonna play pretty decent baseball over the last 5 games, and in those 5 games, there's gonna be 3 or 4 errors that allow enough runs that keep them out.
That's what I say. They go to Red Sox.
Against a
So-
AAA team in the Orioles and a somewhat decent team in the Nationals.
There's a chance that
What happened last night?
So now let's move. We don't even really got to talk about the AL Central because the White Sox ran away with that division from the very beginning, and we didn't honestly think it was going to be this bad.
Start to finish.
Start to finish. Now all they have to do is finish.
It's your dark horse.
Yeah,
it's your dark horse.
Honestly, going into the playoffs, they are the dark horse because they're a good enough team to where they can make the World Series, but they have their, question marks, and we'll see. I mean, not so much, I guess, their question marks, but just the teams that they're going to be facing in the AL just stacked, man. You have the Rays. You have Houston. Now you have Toronto if they get in. You may have the Mariners if they get in the wild card. They're good teams, but shout out to them, start to finish. They're the ones that ran away with the division and have stayed atop of the division. And we said they're the best team in the division, and they've shown why.
The White Sox for me are on show me status. They got to prove it.
Yeah.
Like there's no denying they're a great team, offensively top to bottom. They've got a good pitching staff. That it has the rotation hasn't been quite what it was in the first half as of late, but they've not had much to play for as of late either. I just with the lame ass showing they had last year in the postseason and being not very good against over 500 teams for 162 games this year, like, the White Sox are cool. I'm not saying they're not gonna win, but I'm not betting on them.
So y'all saw that little fist bump? He's watching baseball.
Oh, the reason why the fist bump, because we finished what we finished, and the magic number is what, Jorge?
For the Braves?
The Braves.
I think it's one now. One game. Yeah. Like I said, they won the division. You guys won the division. But
whatever.
Yeah. We're moving on to the West.
Next.
another powerhouse team, man. These three division winners don't have any question marks, unlike we just talk about the White Sox. They're a good team, but I'm saying they don't have as big question marks as the NL division winners, let's say as the Braves. The Braves are a good team, but they have some question marks because of Acuna being injured and whatnot. But Houston is another team that they've won championship. They've been there. They've done that. The Tampa Bay Rays, they were in the World Series last year, and that's just another team that they're going to have to deal with in the playoffs that is stacked. Their lineup, they can rake.
Manager error.
Huh?
Yeah, he didn't hear me say
that.
So, yeah, man. I mean, the Houston, they won that division, but the one surprise team in that division that's still kicking is the Mariners, being a game out of the wild card. And like I said, there's still a chance to where Seattle makes it in the wild card, and so does Toronto, having two young teams in the wild card game. And I think me and you, Storms, we had a conversation about that, and we said we wouldn't mind it at all. That would be a hell of a game, I think.
I'll have to look after tonight's games finish up and see if, God, I hope there's still a scenario where we have three or four teams finish with the same record. I would love to see 2 or 3 163s before the wild cards.
Man, that would be awesome. So how does that work? So if let's say if 4 teams tie, would it be like a bracket scenario?
When there was, I honestly don't know, because before yesterday's games or before today's games, when everybody had 6 left, there was still a scenario that existed where the A's, Mariners, Blue Jays, Yankees, and Red Sox could all finish with the same record, and they all had to take specific games from each other. I'm pretty sure all that's ruined now, especially for the A's. But I don't know. Like if you have 4 teams finish with the same record, and nobody wins the first wild card outright, I have no idea how that would work. Like, how would you decide who plays who in 163?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how that's done, and that's. I mean, I would assume is like, when they have 4 teams, 2 games, and the winner plays the other winner, and that's who makes it.
There's got to be something in the rule book for that. Like, I mean, would it go by division record or run differential?
That's what I was just about to ask. Would it be like division, like say, like if it was 3 teams, if it was 3 teams that was tied against this team, what was your record?
Right, like highest run differential versus lowest, and then the middle 2, or division record, or
yeah.
Somebody pull out the dusty old rule book that's like a Bible, like this big.
Man.
We just need to root for it to happen. So
Bring on the chaos.
It's the lazy route. If we just let it happen, they'll show us.
I just want to point out though, I'm all for, you know what, I would support Storms in his chaos theory. Like let it happen, but I'm secretly pulling for the Mariners, because you think I think the last time they were relevant in the postseason discussions, Ichiro was a rookie. Like that was 20 years ago, man. Like it's been 20 years since the Mariners have had a taste of the postseason. So
was that a wild card berth, or what it was?
They had a wild card in 2001, and I want to say no 2000, and the 2001 they won the division, and they had like won over 100 games. That they had a good year.
Okay, yeah.
That year.
Were they still playing? Was they still playing in the Kingdom then?
Yep.
So when the last time they were in the playoffs, Ty France was in first grade.
Wow.
Well, actually, no. Kingdom closed in 2000, exactly in 2000, in March of 2000.
So that was their first year at the new.
Okay, so this park has never seen a playoff game.
No, they did. That's the first year in the new.
That's the first one.
First
first open.
Yeah.
Okay.
So T-Mobile Park,
Okay,
they won the division in 2001, and they had the wild card in 2000. So
we have a scenario, and let me bring this up to y'all because I just saw this. We have a scenario to where Seattle may be a game away from clinching a wild card berth, and guess who may be pitching against them? Ohtani. They play them the last 3 games of the season. So there's a scenario to where the AL MVP can stop the Mariners from getting into the playoffs.
A division rival.
Adding to his wonderful year that he's having. By the way, shout out to him. Ran away with that AL MVP, and I mean, just
if
probably won't ever see this year again.
If the Mariners
we will,
pull this off, though.
Huh?
If they pull this off against him and the Angels,
give it to Vlad Jr. Maybe.
I'm not.
No, you don't do that.
No, you don't do that.
No,
you don't do that. But you got to stand up and applaud the Seattle Mariners.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm rooting for the Mariners, but if that scenario comes up, I hope Ohtani hits 2 home runs and a 2-0 shutout.
Help his own cause.
Yeah. All right. So Storms, who do you got in this AL wildcard race?
I don't want to sound like a broken record, but just not Boston. That's it. Just not Boston. Not Boston and not Oakland.
All right. Well, Oakland's probably eliminated after today. But who do you got, Ty?
I'm sorry. As much as I would love to see the Mariners, have a seat at the table, I can't, bet against the Blue Jays. That's the safer and better bet, the wiser choice. So I the Blue Jays took care of business, against the Yankees, and I'll give it to the Blue Jays. And like I said, the Red Sox, I think they hold court, even though Storms is like, why, Ty, why?
Yeah, just like Storm said in his AL not well the other race, one of the other races we talked about. I got to stick to the team I picked, Boston and Toronto. That's who I picked to get in. And Toronto has put a hell of a run to put themselves in position to make it. Who you got, Trav? Who you think is going to make it?
Ain't too many times we agree upon each other, Jorge, but that's what I'm with. I said it from the beginning. They control their own destiny. Looking at these two team schedules, it's Boston and Toronto.
Damn, we agree. It's going to snow tonight.
Yeah, just might.
So all right, so I'll pick two teams just for the sake of picking. So we all got Toronto, but I think I got New York.
Oh man! If Boston makes it, we're having that live just for you, sir.
You know what? On that note, we're gonna again. Final thoughts, but that is my thought right there. I want Boston to make it because I need that energy. I need all of that because if you want chaos, that's gonna be it. Don't worry about the other teams. That's gonna be it. 15 minutes of Cat 5 going off on Boston.
I mean, because here's the thing: whether they sneak in with a wild card or not, I told y'all they were going to finish 10 games back when they had been in first place for like 70 days. Like, and here they are at 9, and they're. I promise you, they're not going to have a single win in the playoffs. Not even when they trot Chris Sale out there.
F the Mets. Final thought, man.
Man, last couple of games of the year, I love this time of year. We got football going. If you haven't watched Views, go check them out. Every Sunday before football, every Thursday before football. They do their thing. And also, if you haven't joined us, go check us out on Facebook, The Scene. You see the logo, go join us. And if you haven't joined Monkey Knife Fight, go join. The first $100, they match up to $100. Excuse me, we match up to $100. Just use our promo code TheScene. You see the name. Just put THE Scene, SCEN, one all together. They match up to $100. And then I want to give a shout out. To Salvador Perez. And listen, this guy's been on a tear. His 10th year in the league, 47 home runs, 118 RBIs. By far his best year. His other year, his highest home run total is 27, and that was 2018 with 80 RBIs, same year. Having a hell of a year for his 10th year in the league. So, Salvador Perez, keep it up. Hope you have another year like that next year, man.
I know we're going overboard with all these hashtags, but free Salvi, man.
Oh man.
Tied through. It's on you.
This has been a hell of a season. So many, great moments, and career arcs and storylines, resurgences, renaissances, emergences. I think there's a lot of top tier young talent that's on the rise, and the league is in good hands. What I will say is that for this season, there are things that you just couldn't predict. It was a very unpredictable season. And if you told me at the beginning of the year there were going to be 2 100-game winning teams not named, the Dodgers or the Padres in the NL West, I wouldn't believe you. If you told me the Mariners were going to, be in a postseason race, I wouldn't believe you. So with that, I mean, it's just been unpredictable and a good ride. And this is going to, make it even more exciting in the postseason as far as who's going to emerge to, continue their run. because it's a whole new ball game when it comes to postseason baseball. And every at bat, every pitch matters. And sign me up for it.
Playoffs is coming. Memes is coming. Maybe Cat 5 and 15 minutes of fame is coming. Hey, man, y'all want to see real, pure fandom and reactions? The scene, the dish is where y'all want to see, where y'all want to be, where y'all want to see. So on that note, got my guy Ty, got my guy Guru, I got Cat 5. Y'all see it. He's done with. This your boy Trav coming from the scene. We gonna holler back at y'all, man.